Welcome to the Chaotic Classroom. In this video, we are going to look at how to balance a chemical equation. Please note, this video only covers the basics. First up, let me tell you a joke. A scientist walks into a bar and he says, "Barman, can I have a glass of H2O, please?" His friend who walks with him says, that sounds good. I'm thirsty too. Can I have a glass of H2O too, please?" The second scientist died. Why? Well, you see, H2O is different from H2O2. You see, H2O, good to drink. H2O2, that stuff will kill you. Now, why is this important? Because you see, if you look at the molecular level between H2O and H2O2, in H2O, there is 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen. So if you look at the pictures, the red is our oxygen and the little white balls are our hydrogens. In water, there is 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen. But in hydrogen peroxide, which is the H2O2, there is 2 oxygens and 2 hydrogens. This means that when you are balancing an equation, you cannot change the chemical formula without changing the properties of the entire compound. So why is this important? Well, when we balance an equation, we are going to get an example like this one. There are only certain places where we can make changes. We can only put numbers in front of each of the compounds, because if we do it as part of the compound, then we change what the compound actually is. So in this example, we have hydrogen gas and oxygen gas, which will give us water. If we represent this visually, you'll see that we have 2 oxygen atoms on the left, but only 1 on the right. The only way we can balance it to make sure that the number of oxygens on the left is the same as the number of oxygens on the right will be to add another water molecule. And then we put a 2 in front of the H2O because we have 2 H2Os. Now the problem that we now have is we have way too many hydrogen molecules on the right. And how are we going to fix that? By adding another hydrogen on the left. So what are the steps? Okay, step 1 would be then to divide our reactants, that is the things that are going in on the left, from the products, that is the thing we're getting out on the right. Step 2 would be to count the atoms on both sides to make sure that we know which ones are short. And then step 3, change the number of atoms, but without changing the chemical formula. That means that putting a 2 in front of H2O would be fine. Putting a 2 after H2O would not. So let's have a look at this lovely example. In this example, we have zinc plus sulfur, which will give us zinc sulfide. So what is step 1? Step 1 is divide the left and the right. Divide the products and the reactants. Step 2, count the atoms. So first we counted the zinc. There's 1 zinc on the left, there's 1 zinc on the right. Zinc is not our problem. Then we count the sulfurs. On the left we have 8 sulfurs, on the right we have 1. There is our problem. So let's try and fix it. So how about we multiply it with 8 on the right hand side? To do that, we will then have to put an 8 in front of the zinc sulfide at the top. The problem is it doesn't just change the number of zinc atoms on the right hand side, it also changes the number of sulfur atoms on the right hand side, which means there's now 8 zinc atoms as well, which means we still don't have a balanced equation because we have 8 zinc on the right, which was not a problem initially, but is a problem now. So what do? Then we multiply with 8 on the left hand side. We put an 8 in front of the zinc. So now we have a balanced equation. So let's repeat those rules. Divide the reactants, count the atoms, and change the number of atoms without changing the chemical formula. I hope this helps. Thank you for visiting the Chaotic Classroom.